It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. That's all I'm going to say. And I think tonight I'm going to get started pretty much on time because there's a lot that we have to go over. Pookie, what's happening? It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Kim, it's good to see you too. Y'all know I took a break last week, so it's great that y'all are on this week. Hi, Miss Crocker. It's so good to see you too. All right, my friends, let's go. Let's go. Hi, Pookie. Beyond Wellness. I know who you are too. Y'all, I'm getting better. Hi, Cheryl. I'm getting better. If your name is not on there, I'm getting better at recognizing your IG name. So thank you. Good evening, you all. Good evening, Terrico. Good evening, all of my friends. So listen, y'all, let's get started because we got a lot to talk about, and some of it I don't want to talk about, but I have to because my whole goal is to make sure that you all have the information that you need to stop the madness, right? So, Kim, good evening. Good to see you. So listen, y'all, okay. So you all know that my goal in what I do for life, right, is to hopefully open all of us to our own natural logic so that we are able to actually heal ourselves, right? Sky, good to see you too. And there are some things that came up this week, and I wanna send out simple reminders, right? Because I need y'all to remember something. What we call our healthcare system is not a healthcare system. It wasn't created by a doctor. The curriculum wasn't put together by a doctor. A doctor doesn't run the medical schools. It wasn't created to make us better. I need y'all to remember that, because if you don't, you're going to keep putting yourself in these states where you're sick all the time. I need y'all to remember the basis of this system that was just created in the 1900s by a very, 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 very evil man. Rockefeller created this system to keep us sick and in the system. Your doctor does not have autonomy in this devil-created system. Aloha, mender of many. Good to see you. So I need y'all, please, to remember that. Every time you think about going to your doctor, every time you think about voluntarily cutting through your body, I need you to remember the basis of the system. You want to go to that person to get better. That person wasn't taught to make you better. And just because they state and repeat things that were put into place for you to repeat doesn't make them right and doesn't make them logical. And if it doesn't make sense, I need you to stop doing it. Please. Healers can't heal you. I cannot heal you. My affiliates cannot heal you. Healers do not heal you. You heal yourself. We simply put you in the state to do it. However, your body will never get sick to spite you, right? So if you're taking care of your body the way you should, your body won't get sick. Conversely, your body won't get well if you are not taking care of it. Your body is not going to heal you when you're dumping and piling shit, narcotics, all other types of drugs, stress, and everything else on top of it. You cannot come to us on a regular basis and hope that it's the healers that are going to do your homework at home. We can't. The majority of your healing comes from the habits that you create at home using the information that we give you. It is impossible for your body to heal if you are drinking shit, eating shit, thinking shit, stressing about shit, or not thinking at all. Your body cannot spite you and heal you when you are trashing it. Your body operates in a state of reciprocation. So if your body is doing for you at the end of the day what you were doing it for it during the day, would your body heal you or unalive you? Or do you not think about that? You don't think about that. What's up, bro? You don't think about that, and that's a problem. That's a problem. People have this idea that holistic means, oh, I'm going to do holistic for my health. Holistic doesn't mean you come to see me once every 6 weeks. Yet in between, you're eating McDonald's and fast food, and you're not drinking water, and you're not exercising, and you just sit in front of the TV, computer, social media all day. Those two things don't live in the same space. You are not going to get healed by coming to see us and hoping we're going to pick up that burden for you. Because guess what? I'm not fucking doing it. I'm not picking up that much stress. Y'all have to understand that everybody was born with the same lymph ability. Everybody, all of us. I don't care if it's your doctor, if it's me, if it's you, it doesn't matter. We were all born with the same waterway that is connected and controlled by the same type of brain. What you choose to put in it or not put in it is the only difference in how your body behaves for you. Holistic doesn't mean put the responsibility on the healer. That's not what that means. Holistic means whole. W-H-O-L-E, because you know some of us nowadays can't spell. Whole. What's up, Drops of Heaven? Oh, pause. Okay, can I pause? Pause. Drops of Heaven and my boy Soul Shift. Y'all know I'm still on a high because we just had a LFD certification last week. And we had 2 people in the class. And I'm going to say this. I maxed my certifications at 6 people. I am now going to cut that max to 3. So it is going to take you longer to be a part of my classes because I'm cutting down the number of people who are learning at the same time. The intimacy and the way we can learn when there are a very small number of us. I love you, Drops of Heaven. It was fun. It was fun. It was fun. When I tell you that the learning curve, when there are fewer of us who are learning in practicality on each other and seeing and experiencing the results of things that our system, our healthcare system told us was not possible. It is an experience. So if you haven't been certified yet, I am going to cut the max people, the max number of people in my certifications to 3 at a time. It's a deeper experience when you don't have so many people. But the reason I actually do these certifications is for this reason. What I'm talking about when I talk about the system that was not meant to heal you, if we understood the way the body functions, we would never be scared enough to go to that system. Because the only way that people think that going to a doctor who can never give them an answer and only knows how to drug them and cut through their bodies, the only way that we would do dumb shit like that is because we're scared. And if we're not logical, we're frightened. Scared and logic don't live in the same place. If you understand, you can't be scared. If you're scared, then you're going to make yourself sick because logic doesn't live with fear. Fear makes you make stupid decisions. And being on a narcotic for 30 years and still being told you have the same diagnosis is a stupid decision. I don't care who tells you. It's a stupid decision. It's completely illogical, makes no sense, but we allow it to happen because it's what we've been told, right? It's what we've been told. Yeah, Ro, I mean, having one or two people in the class is it's a different thing. It's a different thing. So it's just going to take me longer to certify everybody in the world because now I'm going to break it down to only 3 people at a time. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing, but it's also crucial because some of the things that I've heard over these last 2 weeks, y'all, you do know if you keep repeating things that don't make logical sense to the brain, your synapses don't fire, right? If your synapses don't fire, then there's no instruction given to the cells. Healthy Temple, good to see you too. If the cells don't get instruction, they just stop functioning. And when cells don't function, you know what they call that? Illness, disease, sickness, DEATH. Pick any of those, right? Pick any of those. So it is crucial, and it is crucial for your life to use your brain. If the frequency is another word for energy, is another word for synapse, is another word for your electrical system. If your electrical system isn't on, your body goes dark. If you go dark, then you die. You cannot go dark and expect your body to function in light. It does not happen. Drops of heaven. I'm still on a high too. I miss y'all already too. You and Soul Shift. Y'all were fun. I mean, we stayed up till freaking 2:00 in the morning talking about everything in life. So yeah, it was amazing. So I appreciate y'all. I appreciate all my affiliates. And I appreciate y'all too, because y'all just ended. We cannot function in darkness, my people. And if you're not using logic, you are going to function in the dark and you are going to stay in the system of sickness like Rockefeller created. And sometimes I think y'all just like that. Sometimes I just think y'all like being high. You like not being able to think. You like being in pain. You like being sick. You like being cut on because y'all stay in that system as if you don't know better. And some of the things that you are told, you allow yourself to believe by repeating it, not because it's true, but because you keep repeating it. And the more you repeat it, that's what you manifest for yourself. Remember, manifestation lives in your vibration. It lives in whatever you say, think, feel, period. So if your bestie is the medical system, then I'm sorry for you and we're not friends. However, you need to understand that you can come out of it, right? And I'm going to give you a real major example tonight because I don't just like to say things if I can't prove it to y'all. This is what I mean when I say humans have been programmed not to think, right? Not to think. Because some of the things, right? Some of the things, oh, Margaret, I love you. Some of the things that they tell us, they put right out in front of us. Some of the things that they say are a literal lie, like literally a lie, not true, untrue, can't be proven, haven't been proven, will never be proven. And what makes them true is that y'all keep repeating it because you don't go and do the research to find out what's true. It's amazing how much research people will do on a restaurant to go and eat, yet they won't research procedures that are meant to do things to your body and you don't ask, right? So we're going to go through this little example and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly. Because we're going to start with diabetes. Okay? Okay? Which doesn't exist. It's not a thing. You cannot You cannot, and you can argue with me all day long. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you've gone to med school. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care, because you cannot prove to me what I'm about to say. It is impossible for you to separate the function of one organ in the body from all of the rest of the organs that are all connected to and through the same lymphatic system, which flows the blood, of which there's only one circulatory system. So you tell me how in the shit you are telling people that you're separating kidney function from everything else. When the kidney doesn't work without the lymphs, food starts to be digested in the mouth with the tongue, with saliva that goes through the esophagus, the throat, all of the other organs on top of the kidney. You're going to tell me that the kidney function is separate from all of that? That's what you're going to prove me wrong. Because if you can't, then you can't keep repeating that same stupid shit. And A1C, they act as if A1C is the only function of the kidney. You know how many functions there are in the kidney? 6 main ones. But they just pick one. You know why they pick the kidney? Because the kidney is the last organ before the bladder. So they can, take urine samples and all these other things to assess what the kidney's doing. But wait a minute. Wait. Urine pulls from the entire lymph system, which pulls from every single organ. So prove to me that you're separating kidney function from everything else. Prove to me you can't, because it can't be done. It can't be done. And you want proof of what I'm saying? If kidney function was actually a thing and they've separated it, tell me why, when they tell you something is wrong with your kidneys, tell me why you start on one drug, then you go to 3, then you go to a monitor, then you go to a shot, then you go to dialysis, and then you go to the fucking coffin. Tell me if they were right and they can prove that, why they can't fix it. Prove to me. Prove it. Because I'll repeat, prove it to me all day. Because what I tell you, I can prove. What I tell you, I can prove. I can get rid of a kidney stone in 5 minutes because I know what kidney stones are, because the body tells me. But if you're a doctor who has been indoctrinated to memorize a curriculum that was created by a demon whose goal was to keep you sick until you're out of here, then you would believe that diabetes was a thing. Sorry, and you're probably one of the ones that's on 6 different diabetes meds with diabetes still. Do you see what I'm saying? Y'all, you can't, listen, you have to question. Using frequency requires you questioning things, because that's the only way you will educate yourself. Indoctrination is not education. Memorization is not fucking learning. Repetition is not learning. The only way you learn is to ask questions, because then you have to weigh different sides and different pieces of information. That's how you learn. You don't learn memorizing stuff out of a book. You learn through experience. You learn through results. You learn through watching. You learn through seeing. You don't learn through memorizing what somebody else wants you to memorize, and they can't prove to you what they're telling you to memorize. So stop listening to things that don't make sense. Those of you who believe in diabetes and who are on 6 gazillion meds, you're miserable. You don't know what one med is supposed to do, and half the time y'all don't even know the name of your meds. But you got to take a lot of them, and you got to take a lot of them all the time. But oh my God, you still have the diagnosis. That makes sense to you? That's sad. If it does, it's sad. And I'm going to use an example that has to go with this whole dialysis thing. Dialysis is end of life. You've never, hello there, Simone. You've never, I'm going to guarantee you, I'm going to wait. You can think about it. I want you, all of you, out of all the people that you know in your life and in the world, I want y'all, and you're going to raise your hand. You can see it, but I can't. I want any of you to raise your hand if you've ever known anybody, one person, name one person that you know that has ever successfully come off dialysis, not in a box. I'll wait. I'll give you 2 more seconds. No? Right. Because there aren't any. There aren't any. You know why there aren't? Because we function as humans in the flow of water. Your blood does not flow without the pressure from the lymph water. Your oxygen does not flow, right? Does not flow. Jay, you had a kidney transplant? Does not flow without the water. Your oxygen flows through the H2O in the water. Your food is broken down by saliva so the molecules can be carried in the water. Your water is the ultimate semiconductor of the electricity that flows through your body. Your water is what allows you to detox through sweat, tears, menstruation, defecation, exhalation. We are water, okay? You cannot take the body's life outside of the body and then put that shit back in. Dialysis pulls out your life water and claims to clean it. Wait a minute. If the body has no seams, no snaps, no buttons, no nothing, indicating that we're supposed to open it up, and it's sealed on the outside so that everything stays inside, why in God's name would you think that taking any function out of the body and trying to clean it outside of its natural environment would ever be a good idea? Oh my God. Your friend had a kidney transplant and died months later. See, I'm sorry. First of all, I'm sorry. But see, your body has an automation of its own army for healing. It knows what shouldn't be in there. It protects you when your body has trauma. Taking out that army, taking the army out of the body and then saying, oh my God, we're going to clean it and we're going to put it back. Bullshit. It is 100% impossible to do. You cannot take blood or fluid or either one out of the body. As soon as you take it out of the body, it changes function. When you put it back in the body, it now becomes foreign territory. And your body fights it. That's why when people are on dialysis, what do? They get super weak, and they get real skinny, and they get real weak, and they get real sick before they're put in a box, because every time they go to get dialysis, and some people do that shit every week, you take away 10% of your body's life every time you go get dialysis. Every single time. You cannot prove me wrong ever, because it can't be proven. Right? What's up? What's up, Trust Only Believe? Thank you for joining. So you can't. So that is part of Rockefeller system. Yes. And you know what you got? Dialysis centers popping up everywhere. Really? Why? If they actually knew what it was, then why do we need all these new centers everywhere? Right? Yet nobody gets off dialysis ever successfully, ever, never, ever, because they're taking out your lymph water, which is your life. Your life lives in your water. There's no function in the body without the flow of your water. None, absolutely none. And when you go to dialysis, you sit there for hours while they take your life out and then destroy it and then put it back in your body. And then you wonder why people can't function on dialysis. They're not meant to. That's not what they created it for. They created it for exactly what it's doing. Taking you out. one by one. One by one. One by one. Because I'm waiting. I'm waiting. What's up? What's up, Special K? I'm waiting. Is that what happens with a spinal tap? Yes. Stop letting them tap your spine because they're not tapping your spine. Cerebrospinal fluid is lymph fluid. That's what it is. When they say your body is 80% water, what do you think they mean? It means exactly what they say it means, except doctors don't know what it means. And I'm going to prove to you that they don't. And you will understand exactly, oh my God, wait a minute. Because of your salt stones, I don't need aspirin. Wait, I love you. I don't need aspirin because when I get a headache, because I just keep rubbing my scalp. I love you for that. I love you for that. Because what a headache is blocked salt that can't move. You are amazing for that. You're amazing for that. Thank you. Y'all hear that? Headaches no more because they're using the salt stone to unblock the waterways. So when I say that doctors don't know about the waterways, I'm about to prove it to you. Because remember, I need you to have enough information to go and do the research you need to do to save your life. Right? Right? So I'm trying to get you to turn on the light, to turn on the brain. And when I say that doctors don't know that the water inside of your body is what functions it, let's go to the proof. Why would they? First of all, you know what they practice on when they're in med school? Dead people. There's no flowing water in a dead person. That's why they're dead. But that's what doctors learn on, right? So doctors are practicing modalities they've learned on dead people on you who happens to be living. So their whole frame of reference isn't even natural life. That's not even their frame of reference. That's not what they learn in med school. And trust me, I spent most of my life in that system. I've seen it. I've corrected it. I've done it. I already know, right? I already want to know. 14 lymph nodes gone. Gotcha. Remind me if I forget to talk about this, right? So I'm going to prove to you that when you go to a hospital, the doctors don't know your body functions in water, okay? And I want y'all all to listen to me. I want you all to listen to me. Yes, for those skin tags, yeah, put the salt on them and then rub along the vessel. So listen, when you go to the hospital and they admit you, what is it that you hear a lot at the hospital? Oh my God, you have fluid buildup. We need to take it off or out of the body. Wait a fucking minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. You're seeing fluid inside of the body, and you're saying to the person who's in the hospital, we need to remove it? Where do you think it came from? You think from osmosis? Did it rain outside and all of a sudden they're pooling water inside of the body? Did for some reason they just show up and maybe somebody dumped a bucket of water on them? What do you mean you have fluid and we need to remove it? Fluid's in the body. That's the body's lymph water. But if the body is not flowing its lymph water, it begins to pool inside of the body. But your brilliant doctors are like, oh my God, we have to take it out. Are you shitting me? Do you know what's in that water? Antibodies, stem cells, your T cells that are meant to heal the body, and they're pooling in an area because they're trying to fix you. But you go to a doctor and what do? Take a big ass needle and take it out of your body. They can't even tell you how it got there if they think it needs to be removed. So you don't even know what you're removing, but you're going to remove it. And then what happens to people in the hospital? They get real weak because they just took out your oxygen. They took out your oxygen. They took out your antibodies. They slowed the function of your blood. They took out your protector because they don't know what it is. And then you want to know why now you're on a ventilator. Now you have to have breathing for you because they just took your breath out. And if you don't know that, if you don't understand that, you will let them do it. You'll let them do it and you'll get weaker and weaker and weaker. And all of a sudden you don't understand why you cannot come out of the hospital. You cannot understand why now you're having strokes and aneurysms and now things are happening with your pressure. Well, if you keep letting people take your life out of your body, what do you expect is going to happen to your body? How do you expect your body to reciprocate you removing the most important part of its function? I'm just asking. Because you won't ask. So I'm just asking you so that you start to connect to what I'm saying. Why would you ever let them take something out of your body that's always been there? You know that you didn't dump water in your body. You know that you weren't in a freaking a pool and an osmosis somehow. You gained all of this fluid. Your fluid is your function. But if your fluid is not flowing, that is a warning sign to you. That is your body's warning and attempt to fix you by pooling and sending stem cells and antibodies to a place of injury. And then you go to the hospital and you let them take it out. And now you wonder why you can't leave the hospital? Really? Because they don't know what it is and neither do you. And you don't ask questions and now you're in trouble. Now you're in trouble and people get super weak. Super weak. That's why CANCER is not something that will unalive you. The treatment of CANCER will. Because the treatment radiates the water that's trying to fix you. Same thing with dialysis. Same thing with taking fluid out of the body. Never, ever, ever let them take your life out of your body. Ever. You simply have to learn how to move it. That's what the salt does. That's what a raw diet does. That's why people who are told they have CANCER heal by going raw. Your body is mineral, salt, water. If the only thing that you put in it is mineral, for 3 days, you are in what's called autophagy, auto healing of your body, because your body only has to process its own water, which is what it uses to filter you. But if you let them take it out at a hospital, your body will never filter you. It can't. We were born with all of the cells inside of the body that we have in our life, which is why they turn over. We don't grow new ones. But you need the stem cells that run inside of your lymph water to replace the cells that are damaged. But if you keep running to the doctor and let them take that out, which includes having them take 6 or 7 vials of your blood every time you go to the doctor, you know they could test your sugar in a drop of blood. Why do they need 6 vials? They don't. But if you're not asking, you just let them take out vials, and then they take out your water, and then they tell you you're getting old. Bullshit. They're taking your life away from you. There is no such thing as aging, people. Your body completely resets itself every 327 days, about. So tell me what aging is. It's not a thing. If your cells in your body never get to be older than 2 years old, then what is aging? Stagnation of water underneath the skin. You want to know the health of somebody's body? You look at their skin. You're at the ER. What are you doing at the ER? Oh God, what are you doing at the ER? Please don't tell me you're at the ER. Why are you there? We have to understand that in order for us to breathe, the water has to flow. Otherwise, oxygen is not moving. The pressure of the water is what they call blood pressure. That don't exist either. That's why y'all are on drugs, 16 of them for the same problem for 3 and 4 and 5 decades. That doesn't seem like a problem to you. You don't think something is wrong with that? You don't think that's a problem? Shit, I think that's a major problem. I think that's a major brain fart problem. That means people aren't thinking at all. You are just rote. You know what you are? You're a robot, and a drugged one at that. You can't use your frequency. Too many drugs in there. If your water has to flow with 102 minerals of salt, which act like sand if the water stops flowing, and you throw large molecular drugs, narcotics inside of that toilet, you then become your own septic tank that is backed up and is going to make you sick. It's going to make you sick. That's all it does. Your body was designed to flow in filtration. You know your protection is in the flow of your water. Feeding, filtering are both things that your lymph water does, right? Right? You're trying not to freak out. Yeah, don't freak out, because if you freak out, that's going to lower your vibration and then you're really going to be in trouble. So thank you, Drops of Heaven. I need all my affiliates to help her, because I need to know why she's there, because she shouldn't be there. So we need to make sure we understand the flow, right? That's why the body is a sealed unit, because the feeding has to happen and the filtration has to happen through the same system. If that system is not flowing, one of those things is going to suffer, either your filter or your feeder. Either way, those two things, if they're not happening, are very detrimental to you. Very detrimental to you. And so here's what I am going to prove to you, right? Oh, she has the C word. Oh God. Yeah. So let me tell you about that. That's not a thing either, you know. When your body is in a state where it's trying to protect itself, it will encapsulate trash for you. That doesn't mean you're sick. That means your body's doing what it's supposed to be doing. But if you happen to go to a doctor or a hospital on the day your body hasn't processed dumping the trash, they're going to tell you you have the C word. That's why many people who have been diagnosed with the C word weren't sick at diagnosis. They just went and had a test and they were like, oh my God, your antibodies are high. Well, hella frickin' Luya. If my antibodies are high, that means thank you, body. My body is doing what it should be doing. Because you know your antibodies need to be high to breathe this shit that they're spraying in the air, right? You need antibodies to process sugar. You need antibodies to allow you to rest. You need antibodies if you bump your leg on a sofa. You need antibodies if you're stressed out and have stress damage to your cells in your head. You need antibodies for all of it. So how are you going to tell me at an appointment that my antibody levels indicate I have a problem, but you didn't test me yesterday, last week, last month? You don't know when those antibodies came, how long I've had them. You don't know shit. But you tell me I have this fatal cancer, and instantly I get terrified. My vibration goes too low, and then I actually do become sick. You see that system? That's the system Rockefeller created. That is not a system that is meant to help us, right? It's not. It's not. And listen, you know what makes a good doctor? You know what makes a good doctor in the medical system? A doctor who memorizes the best. You didn't just hear me say a doctor who thinks outside the box the best. I said the doctor that they call experts are the doctors that memorize the best. They are the ones that are most Rockefeller. They're the ones that memorize Rockefeller's bullshit the best. But those that memorize that the best are the first ones to take you out of here. And not because they want to, but because what they were indoctrinated to memorize was told to them as something that helps you when it was created for the exact opposite. But if you keep going back to the doctor, you keep letting them repeat that same shit over and over. And you know, it's amazing. Somebody will say to me, hey, Camille, I need you to prove to me what you do. Oh, that's easy. I can do that shit all day. That's what I do. But you'll go to a doctor for 30 years and take a different set of narcotics all day, every day for all of those years and never once ask your doctor to prove anything to you. You know, that's like upside down day all the time. It's like opposite day. I'm talking to people and I'm like, wait, so you get off my table. You haven't felt a relief of pain in 40 years and you get off my table and don't have pain in an hour. And you want me to prove it? Prove what? I just proved it. Isn't your pain gone? Yeah. But then you'll go and say, well, I need to make sure with my doctor that what? That your pain is gone? Come on, y'all. If y'all stay asleep that long, you will keep allowing them to make this amounting on genocide. Because that's what our system is, right? That's what our system is. What's up, Don? What's up, Don? So, excellent. I love you. You refused 80% of the meds. Very, very good. But you and I probably need to be on the phone. So here's what I'm going to prove to y'all. So remember, I said I'm going to prove to you that we're crazy, that we just keep repeating things that can't be proven, make no sense, and the information is out there. And if we connect the dots, there is no straight line to be had. So I just said what I said about the water, right? I just said there is no function inside of the body without the flow of the water. There is no protection nor healing without the stem cells and the antibodies that have to travel through the water to allow you to live and breathe, right? So when you allow them to take that water out of your body, you are KILLING yourself. And it is your fault because you don't ask a question. So we just talked about dialysis and I told you diabetes is not a thing, right? And now who knows what the new trend of hold on. Who knows what the new trend of TPE is? It came out after COVID. And people started doing it and they were like, oh my God, this is going to get rid of COVID. Who knows what TPE is? I'm about to tell y'all because y'all are pissing me off going to spend $2,000 to $8,000 to get this done. And you will not be on this planet very long. So I'm going to tell you what TPE is because I like to show you how I want y'all to use your brain. Yes? So TPE is this new trend that people, I have to laugh when I say it because it's so stupid. The new trend that people have latched onto where they think that taking out their blood plasma and cleaning it and putting it back in is actually helping them. It's fucking dialysis. Genius. It's the same exact thing. But because y'all don't ask questions, you're letting these people take your plasma out of your body, putting it through some machine that they have no idea what that machine is doing. You know how I know? Because humans can't create other humans. Humans can't create plasma. Humans can't create blood. Humans cannot recreate nature, which means if we can't, we don't know shit about it. So you telling someone that taking out their plasma and then cleaning it through a machine is working is an outright lie. And if you don't stop them, they will take your life. So listen, TPE, because some of y'all I know went and got this, and I'm talking directly to you. TPE stands for therapeutic plasma exchange. Wait a fucking minute. That's my first problem. My first problem is the word therapeutic plasma exchange. No. You cannot exchange any person's plasma on this planet and let it be therapeutic. Impossible. Every single person's plasma is different because it's their plasma controlled and contained in the lymphs. Okay? So that's the first problem, right? Yes, that's Ebo. That's what they call that Ebo shit, right? Right. Where they take the plasma out of your body. Yes. But I need to read to you because if there are things y'all want to do, right? You just Google. So we're going to Google what therapeutic plasma exchange is. And then I'm going to break down, like I broke down to you reading the radiology reports one day, how you're supposed to read reports. Because y'all get reports back, y'all don't read a damn thing. It's there for you, but you don't read it because you've let your doctor tell you what they don't know. Okay? Okay. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, you're done. And I hope you live in Georgia so that you could come and see me, right? So here's what TPE is, people. It is a medical procedure. That's the second problem. Healing doesn't come through medical procedures. Healing comes through the body. Healing comes through the internal functioning inside of the body that lives in your water. It does not, will never, and cannot come from a medical procedure. So you could stop reading at that point if you wanted to, but for shits and giggles, I'm going to keep going. It is a medical procedure that removes and filters your blood plasma to eliminate harmful substances like toxins or disease-causing antibodies. If anybody that is listening to me right now didn't catch what they just left for you, you are going to be one of the people who is very sick for the rest of your life and not going to be here that long. Wait a minute. Did you just say disease-causing antibodies? Did you just say that? The whole point of an antibody is the opposite. There is no such thing as a disease-causing antibody. Because if we then go and we say, well, wait a minute, what is an antibody? Then we say antibodies, which are also called immunoglobulins, or Y-shaped proteins produced by your immune system. Wait a fucking minute. How is an antibody disease-causing if they're proteins produced by the immune system to identify and neutralize foreign invaders like bacteria, viruses, and toxins? So you just lied to me and said that TPE supposedly gets rid of disease-causing antibodies, which don't exist. But if y'all aren't reading, you're going to let them shorten your life by taking out your plasma, which contains all of your identifying information, because it is all lymphocytes inside of your plasma. And as soon as they come out of your body, they are forever not able to heal you ever, because they change molecular structure as soon as they come out of the body. So then they take your plasma and completely change it to something that is not human and put it back in your body. And then people are like, oh my God, I have so much energy. You know why? Because you just put a fucking an army inside of your body. Your body instantly activates its army to try to protect you. And you're like, oh my God, I have all this energy. Yeah, because your body's fighting a war it cannot win. And over time, your energy goes just like this. Because your body has to fight and fight and fight and fight. And it has to fight forever because they've taken out your fighters, weakened them, sprayed them with mace, all kinds of things, beat them to hell, and then put them back in your body. And what is your body supposed to do for you? But y'all think paying $2,000 to $8,000 to do that stupidity is a good thing. What's up? What's up, Fanic Beauty? What's up? So yes, they zap all of your life force. They kill it, right? And then they put it back in your body. And so you're supposed to feel how, for how long? And what is their cleaning mechanism that does something other than what the body is supposed to do? And how do they do it successfully if they couldn't create plasma in the first place? So if you can't create plasma, then how do you know what functions plasma enough to take it out of somebody's body and put it in a machine that humans created and then put it back in somebody's body? It's dialysis, y'all. And you know what dialysis does? Takes you out of here. So will EBO, this whole TPE bullshit. And then they're lying and telling you there is such thing as disease-causing antibodies. Blatant, outright lies. But that's who Rockefeller was, and that's how Rockefeller created the curriculum. But then doctors were told when memorizing that curriculum that they were the be-all to end-all and they know everything, and they don't know shit. They know what Rockefeller wanted them to know. And you know what Rockefeller wanted them to know? How to make you sick. How to cut through your body, how to drug you, how to never get rid of a diagnosis that your body was innately created with a system to regulate and get rid of. But you can't if you're drugged on their narcotics. You can't if you cut through that waterway. You can't if you go to the hospital and you keep letting them pull your fluids out of your body. You see what you're doing to yourself? You see what you're doing? And you know whose fault that is? It's your fault. You don't have to go to your appointment. You don't have to believe that the craziness that they're telling you is actual truth. You don't have to take their drugs, but you do it. You do it. You do it. Yes. So that's why changing your diet has worked for lupus. Lupus, like MS, is a sinus problem. Everything is a sinus problem. You know, the lymphs have to travel across the brain through the sinus cavities. Sinus cavities. You know, the head and the face are like nothing but sinus cavities under the skin because we have to process the air, convert it to water so the body can get fed. It's air. Why do y'all let them, when you're having breathing problems, go and cut your freaking heart open? Your heart doesn't breathe, you know. The only nostrils we have are up here. There are none in the heart. The heart has to be fed from the jugular and the carotid, which are on either side of the sinus filters in the ear, which have to cross over the head. So why would you cut through the heart if somebody is not able to breathe? The heart doesn't ever breathe. It's fed its oxygen, right? So when people go on a change of diet, that's why change of diets work. Because the change of diet increases the mineral ingestion into your body, balancing the 102 minerals of electrolyte salt, which cause your water to move faster. When the water moves faster, your oxygen is higher. When your water moves faster, your blood moves faster. When your water moves faster, your electrical current is at a higher frequency and your cells can communicate like this. It's logic. Biologic. Biology was and is logical, right? When I was in school, you know, there were different sciences. Yes? Sciences were broken down into physics, biology, chemistry. Now they've thrown science and biology into the same pot and make you all think that putting fucking nanotechnology in your body is a good thing. See how stupid we become? They're not hiding it. They told you it was a technology. Technology is computer, program. They put a program into an organic body, and you all wonder why the cases of cancer have skyrocketed 1,200%. Because we tried to tell you that was going to happen, right? The body can only heal itself from the inside out through its natural function. That function is through the lymph water. You want me to prove it? What do y'all think fascia is? Y'all are now on all this fascia trend. Oh my God, we got to affect the fascia. We got to affect the fascia. What do you think fascia is? It is the physical connective tissue evidence of the lymphs. We just can't see the lymphs because they're water, but we see them in fascia. The fascia is the lymphs. It's just the tissue part. So we have to turn on our brains enough to know when the body is telling us not to do something. And it does that all the time. It's always talking. And then we go and sit in front of another human, and the human tells us that we're not feeling exactly what the body is telling us we're feeling. That's the only right answer. When you have a sign, when your body says, I hurt here in my knee, y'all will go to the doctor and let your doctor tell you you don't hurt there. What do you mean? The only right answer is the pain coming from my knee. That is the body, the frequency of the body through the water, giving me a sensation that tells me where the stagnation of the water is. But y'all want to go to the doctor. Y'all want to go to the doctor. Y'all want to go to the doctor. Doctors love you, yes, but stop right there. Just stop. Doctors love you and they want to help you, but they weren't taught to do that. That's not what they were taught to do. They were taught to find a problem. Why do you think if you have a symptom and you go to a doctor and they can't give you a diagnosis, they keep sending you to this one, this one, this one, this one until you do find one? Again, that's your fault. Your body's telling you exactly what the problem is because the body was meant to stay sealed. The body was meant to function from the inside out. You know what the skin is? Besides a detox organ, every vessel in the body ends in a pore. That's why we sweat through the skin, right? You want to know the health of someone? Look at their skin. Their skin. People's skin is going to tell you how fast or slow somebody's lymph water is moving under the skin. That's what eczema is. That's what psoriasis, hyperpigmentation, hypopigmentation. It is all a stagnation of the water. Discoloration comes when the water is stuck because the water flows the blood. So if the water is stuck, the blood will slow, right? Then they got you thinking about, oh my God, I have a blood clot. Who cares? Move the water. The blood will unclot. And the blood doesn't matter anyway. In an adult person, there are no nuclei in blood. They're little like plops of blood. Move the water. Move the water. That's why when they tell people a clot will KILL, because the oxygen that is cut off is in the water, not the blood. It's a water problem. Water is life. A stagnation of that life creates a problem. The minute you keep taking your water outside of your body, you are going to weaken your body until it cannot function for you anymore. Which is why so many people leave the hospital in a box. Because we are meant to function from the inside, not the outside. There are no indicators in the skin that say, here, cut here, open here, like a bag of chips. There are no edges. None of that. None of that. None of that. I love you. I love you. Thank you. And I'm glad it helped. There are no edges, y'all. The body is all. So here's the gift that we've been given, right? We've been given a magical function inside of our body. It's magic. It's so magical that humans can't comprehend the magic. We've been given everything that we need to fix this magic or reset it, either inside or connected to the body. The body has its own signal flag, skin. It has its own signal function in vibration. It has its own internal signaling system, pain, nerve, muscle, anything. But the magic is that all of those signals call back to one thing. And that one thing is a blockage of our water. Rockefeller made this system hard because he wanted to control what doctors do and what they think. But everybody was created with the same internal system to heal it from the inside. If it wasn't meant for that, then all of us wouldn't have the same system. Doctors weren't born with a different system. They just decided to memorize different shit than we did. But nobody outside of us is ever going to have the answer outside of us. The answer is always going to come from inside. Always. But if you remember that part of the magic for us stupid humans is that the origin is always the same. The origin is always the same. Always. Nobody's ever brought me anything I can't connect back to the water. Nothing. Not one thing. I don't care what it is. That's not me. That's the magic of the body. It has one origin of life and death, and it's the same origin. It's water. It's water. And depending on what you are putting into that water, what you put into that water is either going to make you live or it's going to take you out of here. Period. Period. I don't care if you're eating it, you're thinking it, you're saying it, you're watching it, you're hearing it. I don't care. What you are putting inside of this system either functions it or fails it. But your body can never be wrong. It can never lie to you. Humans are wrong and we lie every second of every freaking day, particularly in this country. But your body will always be that answer. Always. But if you're too drugged up or too cut up to actually be connected to what your body is screaming, you're going to be one of the ones that makes this disgusting system a gajillion-dollar industry because you keep paying for the very things that keep you sick, right? Your daughter's suffering with digestive issues because she has a sinus problem. Digestive issues are sinus problems, always. The vagus nerve, which controls the gut, sits right underneath the mastoid sinus cavities behind the ears. She can start rubbing circles, if you don't have one of my salt stones, behind her ears, right? Do we salt the groin and hips for fluid on the knees? Yes, start by groin and hips, right? And then go into the inner thigh, down to the knee, cross across the front of the knee, and come back up the outer side, back into that groin space, for sure. Yeah. Listen, that explosive diarrhea bullshit that they created, like, I can't even talk about it. That's so insane. They know that people are getting smarter. Yes. And so they're eating more fruits and vegetables. So they spray the fruits and vegetables with the shit that give us problems, right? But remember, the filter, even for the digestive system, is behind the ears. It's behind the ears. So before I forget, the 2-day masterclass on breasts starts August 6th, I think. Yeah, August 6th and August 20th. If y'all want to know how to fix yourselves and never, ever, ever worry about what they call breast, CANCER, which also does not exist, you can register for the class. Because I'm going to make you do the work, and I'm going to make you prove it to yourself. I'm not going to sit here and talk to myself. I don't need this information. I already know it. I don't need it, but I'm going to give it to you so that you could prove to yourself and save yourself and your family and your descendants and everybody else who comes after you, so that we can get rid of the system that was created to take us out of here, right? So we need to actually, that class starts August 6th, August 20th. It's August 6th and August 20th, because the first day we are going to learn, I am going to show you, and then you're going to take 2 weeks and you're going to do, and then we're going to come back and meet again so that you could prove to yourself what I already know. I'm going to teach you what breast, CANCER, is and is not, because it is not a thing. The fact that you all keep repeating, oh my God, I have ovarian CSER, or I have breast CSER, or I have CSER of the bones. What do you mean? It's one unit. It's one body, okay? There are no doors or windows inside of the water, inside of the body. The body isn't separate from itself. Stop making them money. Oh, by the way, by the way. Damn, I don't have it on this phone. I'll read it next week. My girl, my chef alchemist that I use for my classes, who's also a bomb ass healer. Anyway, she sent me, and I wish I had it. Daggone it. She sent me a statement from one of the doctors at St. Jude's. Okay? First of all, for you all to even believe that that's a thing is disgusting. That fish tank where they're taking people's children and cutting them apart and telling them they have cancer is absolutely disgusting and a part of this country's unbelievable ability to lie to our faces. Anyway, this doctor talked about how he was in Geneva and they were at this medical conference where they were telling people, they were telling these doctors and showing these doctors in data. If you want data, I don't operate on data. I operate on results. People are like, Camille, where's the data? The fucking client, ask them. Ask them. They're on the table. They just experienced it. That's my data. But anyway, they were in Geneva with all these oncologists. And they all sat in this symposium and read the data of all of these kids who were told that they had tumors of CSER. And in 25 minutes of frequency, the tumors were gone. Because I keep telling y'all, there is no such thing as cancer. It is a stagnation of your lymph. LFD, lymphatic frequency detox, is not lymphatic drainage. It is not lymphatic massage. We do not do that. All that is moving your water around. That's not what we do. We use frequency to reset your body. And when your body is reset, like resetting or flipping the switch in a fuse box, the light comes back on. You reset like the defibrillator paddles. When your light goes out, what do? They shock you back to life. Well, you know what LFD does? We shock you back to life before you die. That's what it is. So they know that frequency is what it is. But the system that Rockefeller created has a regulatory agency called the American Medical Association that does not allow doctors to heal you. But if you don't ask, you just keep going. You're just that one. I don't know why I'm still sick. I don't know why I'm still sick. I don't know why I'm still sick, because you're not doing anything to make you better. That part. And most of the time, listen, those of you all who have gotten to a point where you have a diagnosis or multiple have been ignoring your body and not giving your body what it needs for so long, the work that you'll have to do to come out of that is a lot. Because it's not work if you make it a habit. But you can't make it a habit after you've spent your life ignoring it. You can't do it. That's why we keep telling y'all about Solex. Solex is probably the easiest way to save your life, right? The AO scan is probably the easiest way to save your life. And you can do it every day for every member of your family and everybody that you know. And y'all are like, nope, I think I want to go to the doctor, who can't give you an answer at all. Like at all. And AO scan literally scans your answer. Remember, your body is your answer. The only entity that will ever know every single solitary thing that's going on in your body is your body's water. AO scan reads the water and then it optimizes it for you. So it's constantly resetting the switches. But y'all don't want to do that. Y'all don't want to do that. Y'all are just like, yeah, I'm going to go to the doctor who can't give me an answer, but they're going to give me 16 different narcotics, which are going to shut down my organs, because they tell me on the commercial that they're going to shut down my organs. But I'm going to go there, right? I'm going to go there and just do the crazy, right? Yeah, rosacea is a sinus problem. Rosacea sits in between the place where the filter's not moving. So you take the salt rock and you massage in circles around your ear. Same thing. Listen, the ears control the entire body. You want me to prove it to you? I will. And then I got to go because I'm hungry. So I got to go eat. I'm going to prove it to you. The ears control all of your life. You want me to prove it to you? Here's quick. Catch it, because I'm not going to repeat it. In between the ears is the brain. At the base of the ears is the jugular vein. At the front of the ears is the carotid artery. Underneath the ears is the vagus nerve. Love y'all. See y'all next week. And I'm going to be on vacation too, but I'm still going to come on because I love y'all. If you want to do the breast class, because I'm limiting that is going to cut off at 50 people. So if you want to take it, you can register. You got to go to cejimages.com. Otherwise, I will see y'all lovelies next week. Have an awesome week this week, and don't sweat the small shit. Y'all are so easily distracted, but if you turn internally and concentrate on the inside, nobody has control of your frequency but you. I love y'all. Y'all have a great week. I will see you next week.